Jay,
Yes, man.
we just watched that incredible conversation with Gen Z team talking about from Gen Z to Gen Z, which actually featured, I think, some really interesting perspectives on everything from Gen AI, monetization platforms, and integrity economics, which I think are super hot topics obviously in our industry right now. And we featured obviously one of your community members, Sergio, who's pretty amazing. Tell us about Imagen.
It was a good session, actually, firstly.
Yeah.
Appreciate you for having us and having us down. It was wonderful. So my name is Jay, co-founder of Imagen Insights. Our mission is to help Gen Z to shape their future. And we enable brands like Amazon, Apple, Nike, Google, so on and so on, to crowdsource qualitative insight from our community within a matter of minutes. We have a self-service dashboard. They log in, they ask their questions via the dashboard and get all the insights in minutes. So yeah, it's wonderful. A lot of fun.
Very cool, very cool. And with that, what do you see? Obviously, you work with those sort of brands. With Gen Z being like the hottest commodity at the minute, what are you seeing brands like that coming to you for your community members for most frequently?
Yeah, for a lot of time, when we're speaking to our clients, when clients are using the index, when they're actually asking these questions, what they're trying to understand is, what do Gen Z actually care about? Because a lot of the time you hear these big pictures, so say, for example, anything from Black Lives Matter to sustainability, they're like, okay, do they care about all of these things? Because for a lot of brands, they feel this pressure to try and speak on all these different topics. And the challenge is, as a brand, you can't speak on hundreds of thousands of different topics. They're important to everybody. So for a lot of our brands, they're going, okay, what should we be speaking? What are the things that Gen Z really care about? But then what do they think that us as a brand would do? What should we be speaking on? So that's one key thing. And then the second thing is how to engage with them.
Yeah.
Because from a social media perspective, a lot of the time, social media as a brand, we use it almost like a party. So imagine I'm going to invite you to a party at my house. I invite you over, you're like, sick as a viper, and it's the best. I come in and then I lock the door and you're like, this is a bit weird. But then as I lock the door, I pull out a microphone and I start screaming at you. And that's kind of how brands have been using social media historically. It's like, you come onto our social media and we're going to tell you what we're doing. With a lot of Gen Z, they want to engage with the brand. Because social media is enabled to brands to have that level playing field with their community, with their followers, where you can engage in conversation. And that's what Gen Z want to have from a brand. They want to have that conversation, but brands are still struggling to do that because they've got these massive organizations. So to do that can be kind of hard. So they're trying to figure out how to do that authentically.
Great. And I feel like, we're not quite Gen Z. Not quite Gen Z.
Nearly there.
But when you're seeing the kind of attitudinal changes between maybe like obviously millennials and Gen Z, what would you say about all the kind of questions you've asked, community research you've done? What do you think like the biggest difference is between millennials and Gen Z when it comes to how they look at brands and look at the industry of advertising?
Yeah. I think it's the transparency piece. Yeah. So I hate the word authenticity because it makes me feel sick if I'm being honest. But transparency is just so much better because for a lot of our community, like I was saying a second ago, the playing field has been leveled. So they can go onto Twitter, they could DM Elon Musk and he might reply. They could DM.
He probably will.
Exactly.
He probably will.
Yeah, literally, you don't know what he'll say, but he'll reply.
Yeah.
But it's the opportunity to be able to engage with these famous people, these rich people, these people that are in these amazing positions. Social media has leveled that playing field. So for them, they've only grown up in that world.
Yep.
So for them to be able to engage with PepsiCo, with Amazon, or with Google, with Samsung in a way that just seems normal, they want to actually see brands being transparent because they're going, actually, I expect you as a brand to toe the line. So if as a brand, you're going to say, we're doing X in the forest in the Amazon, they're going to research that. They're going to look into it and they're going to go, actually, you're being transparent about what you say you are doing. So for a lot of our community and a lot of the Gen Z worldwide, we're seeing them going, actually, we're going to hold brands to account and we're not just going to let them tell us that they're doing something. We're actually going to research it by ourselves and then we will call you out if you aren't doing it properly.
And I think we tried about in our trends report with thing we're kind of coining is integrity economics. Yeah. Because it used to be, you've got to just talk about diversity, you've got to talk about responsibility, you've got to talk about sustainability, but now it's kind of all of it working as one. And how are you seeing Gen Z? You said they research their companies. This I find really interesting because is it like it used to be like a fair trade sticker on a cup of coffee and you'd know it was like authentic. Yeah. How are you seeing Gen Z actually going in and like looking for that authenticity? So I know they might go, I don't know, they might go into like financial reports, investor reports. Where are they like getting that kind of authentic voice
all
from?
Of the above. These are digital natives. They've grown up with technology. It's not like us. We were adopted. When the first phone came out, we're like, oh, camera friendly flips on top. These guys, they've grown up with technology. They've grown up with software updates. So when a company says X, they go, actually, you know what? We're planting this many trees in Amazon. They're like, all right, cool. Let me find out this information. And it's not hard. The internet has so much information. You can, if you want to find financial reports, if you want to find these documents, you can find random PDFs that probably shouldn't be on the internet, but you can find them super easy because some joker somewhere uploaded it and didn't realize and then left it there. So for a lot of our community, you see that. I mean, literally, I was just looking at some data before I came into the session for a gaming client of ours. And as I was looking at the data, I realized a lot of our community was saying the reason why they're not buying certain games is that they found out that the developer was supporting something they didn't agree with, which is crazy because historically I would have bought the game, but now I've got the information to go, actually, no, this isn't one I'm going to support
So
myself.
values are still becoming major players.
100%. Okay. What we're seeing at the moment is Gen Z's spending power is going to increase to $33 trillion by 2030. So massive spending power is going to increase. But at the moment, their values are really high, but their spending power is low. But what's going to happen is, over the next decade, their spending power is going to increase, it's going to match their values, and the brands that aren't also matching their values won't get that spend.
And are you seeing a commonality in what those values are? And are you seeing differences like globally or in regions?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So definitely, I think the overarching values that we're seeing for all Gen Z are the things that go, actually, you know what? You should be, as a brand or as a human being, you should be caring about other people. Yeah. And you can see this all of the marches around the world for various different causes.
So Soju said in the session before, he was like, we're just people.
Exactly. So people are just people. So as a human being, you should be caring for other human beings. And Gen Z leading the charge. I know whether Black Lives Matter, fight for gender equality, fight for LGBT rights, fight for anything's happening in the world, it's normally Gen Z leading the charge. So that's something that unifies them. It's just human beings are human beings. Yeah. And then I think each region will have its different things, like what's going on in the Congo. So folks in that part of the world will go, actually, this is really important to us, and it might not be blowing up on socials, but it's really important what's happening in the Congo. And you will see these microcosms and these different things happening all around the world. But definitely, I would see the overarching thing is human beings are human beings, and we should be supporting them.
Exactly. I think that's really interesting too, because when you think about it, millennials now are kind of in these now more kind of influential positions. And I think they had that idea of value marketing. Yeah. So now I think they're able to respond much easier to Gen Z. And you've seen there being a quicker connect than maybe the generation above to millennials. Because I know there was a bit of a disconnect when millennials came in, but now I feel like millennials get Gen Z quite easily.
For sure. Yeah. It's also, one of the reasons is we don't want to feel old. You know what I mean?
Don't say we.
Okay, because the thing is, because we for us it's new. It's like, because we were like, wait, we were the people that everybody wanted to talk about. Remember, everyone was like, millennials, how do we market to them? And now it's like, oh, you should move along. You're in your 30s.
Exactly.
We know how to market to you, like But definitely, you can see this is camaraderie because we adopted technology, but we were very close to this generation. So we're seeing them coming in. A lot of you'll see that they call them Zillennials. That bridge between millennials and Gen Z. And you're definitely seeing a lot of common characteristics. Definitely the chasm isn't as far as it was with Gen X and with millennials, for sure.
And what about Gen Z to Gen A? Are you guys doing any kind of research in that space?
Yes, for sure. This is exciting. So the good thing for us is we have a lot of community members aged between 16 and above. But for our community, when they join, we ask them to give their date of birth for their siblings. Nothing else, just say the date of birth of your siblings. And then when it's a sibling's birthday and they turn 16, we then send a message, be like, hey, James or Sarah or Ali or Hassan, they have now turned 16. Could you just reach out to them and give them an opportunity to join the community? So we're seeing that coming through, but we're not working with Generation Alpha yet because trying to pay people under 16s is logistical. Of course, and I'm not looking to go to prison. So.
None of us are. And so I guess wrapping up, I think just like with all the kind of interesting insights you get from your community and brands, again, really trying to tap into this Gen Z audience, which again, spending power is increasing, their share of voices is increasing. What would you say? I think you've talked about transparency, authenticity, but if you think about these kind of global campaigns, these effective campaigns, what would be the one kind of piece of advice you'd give to like these global brands which are really looking to target these guys in an authentic and transparent way that's going to resonate?
Yeah, I think listen. Yeah. For a lot of times, brands, we're very good at putting stuff out there. We're not always that good at listening. We invite people to our house party, we lock the front door, and then we shout at them with the microphone.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think the concept of just sitting down and going, hey, can we just have a conversation? We just want to know what you think about what we're doing, or what you think about the world at the moment, and how can we do this properly? And listening, so asking a question and being silent and listening. Historically, this would have been done in focus groups, but with technologies like ours and other companies, you can do this much quicker. So instead of it taking 2 months to organize and costing you £30,000, you can get this data within minutes, and then you can get that qualitative data, which then you can apply to campaigns much quicker than you used to. And a lot of brands, it's scary, because you don't want to hear what people have to say sometimes. But if we hear what they have to say, then we won't miss the mark when we're putting stuff out.
Exactly. And then it's going to land as well.
Exactly.
Which has been brilliant.
And then it lands, money well spent.
Easy peasy. Jay, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you,
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, my friend.
Cheers.